Welcome back into the ASUG News studio. My name is Tom Whalegum, co-editorial director of ASUGnews.com. Well, we are very delighted to have our sponsor in here, Elliott Garofalo from Optimal. Thank you so much for being in the studio.
Yeah, good to be back.
And thank you for sponsoring us again. We appreciate it. I know you've seen all the great content, all the interviews we've done, and we couldn't do it without your support, so we appreciate that.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and it's such a great thing you guys do here, and the content's awesome, and a lot of people look at it, so we're happy to be a part of it.
Yes, we want a lot of people looking at that and the signage and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're on the show floor. I know you're talking to tons of ASUG members. What are you hearing? What's kind of been the feeling of this event so far that you're hearing?
Everything's tying back to HANA and mobility with regards to business objects is so intertwined within those two technologies now that's really what people want to talk about is what's that path of least resistance, how do we mitigate risk, how do we build use cases for all of these different types of things we're doing so that we can continue to utilize all this technology within the stack that SAP is coming up with.
Well, isn't it also too, are you guys seeing utilizing what they already have and using this, putting the new stuff on top of? Is that something where you guys see customers looking to you for that kind of advice?
Absolutely. It's we've made the investment into our ERP back office system, and we have business objects we bought. We bought mobility.
Yep.
We have HANA. Now, how do we make it all tie together, and how do we continue to leverage that in existing investment and get more return on it based on these new products?
And I know you guys are, one big area is the BW on HANA. You guys are looking at that. Where are customers, when they're coming to your clients, where are they with this? What's their level of knowledge, and then how do you guys start those conversations?
Sure. There's a lot of questions out there with HANA, and I think that I really think there's a perception. SAP's done such a great job with regards to making a transformation internally from kind of the old school ERP company to this new technology dynamic product organization. And I think a lot of the customers have just been taken back by shock. They're a bit skeptical because they're like, hey, this isn't SAP.
Right.
What's happening here?
Right.
And now they're starting to see the shift, and they're understanding what SAP is trying to do and where they're going. And BW on HANA is really a great first step because BW is such a mature product. People invested a lot of money in BW over the years, and they can really, really take the performance of that product to a whole new level with HANA. And from a marketing perspective and from a product maturity, with regards to HANA, that's probably the one that's been done the most so far. And so people tend to gravitate towards that, obviously, as their first entree into HANA. Yeah,
you said on the phone, I think, first path of resistance, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Once that, with the early customers that have done that, once they do that, is the light bulb going on? It must be.
Yeah, at that point, it spreads like wildfire through the different functional areas of the organization. Everybody wants a piece of HANA at that point.
Yep.
And then everybody's coming to the table saying, hey, we think we have a use case for this, once they see the power and the effectiveness of HANA. I mean, it's a true game changer.
With the use case, right? I mean, you can't, no one's going to show up and say, I want HANA. Well, why? Because SAP says it's great, right? I mean, those use cases are huge because it's still so new.
Yep.
Are you guys able to show that? How are you guys able to show those use cases or help clients even envision? Because, sometimes you're up listening to Sanjay or John, it's like, they'll say in so many words, we can do whatever you want to do. Well, that sometimes is hard for customers who don't necessarily know what they want to do. How do you guys kind of approach that?
Absolutely. HANA is such a dynamic product. It can be leveraged in so many different areas of your organization from a functional perspective, that what we did, we thought the best way to approach it with our clients was we invested in something we called Optimal Labs.
Okay.
And what we did is we put our money where our mouth is. We installed HANA. We built out our internal HANA environment. And then what we did is we started tying all of our different SAP systems to it. So we have over 40 different SAP systems connected to HANA in a test and demo environment, where we then allow our clients or potential prospects looking at HANA who say, we know we want to do it, we're just not sure where, how. We need to be able to build a business case that says it can really speed up performance this much, and we're going to get this value.
Right.
And we let them come in. We work with our HANA team within Optimal Labs, and we allow them to convert their data, and basically they go and they test drive their data in our HANA appliance, and we benchmark it, and we gather the statistics, and out we deliver a business case that they then can go take back and go, hey, we've proven this will work for this particular function. Let's fund it, and let's go implement it.
How does one get an invitation to the Optimal Labs? Like,
Yeah.
how does that work? I'm
Yeah.
sure anyone hearing this or people I'm sure you talk to would start salivating over that chance to do that.
Absolutely, and obviously from a capacity standpoint, we can't take everybody. But what we do is our account executives and client partners out in the field nominate clients, because there is it's not just the work we're doing. There's a commitment on their side as well with regards to bringing the right resources, making sure the data is in good shape,
Right.
and then being a part of that test drive. Because at the end of the day, they own the business case. It's not an optimal business case. It's
Right.
their business case that they need to go justify. So it's a selection process, a nomination process, and then we validate that they're going to have the resources available to us.
Sure.
And then we schedule a window for them, and we bring them in, and we create the business case.
How much data can you guys take on? I mean, what are we talking here? For a test case, I'm sure you're not going to be doing terabytes, but I'm wondering, is there an average amount that people come in, or what?
We've had clients that have wanted to test drive 1,000 records to 1 billion records.
Wow.
So and the results have just been phenomenal when we start looking at the actual metrics of the performance. The improvement times, reports, or a report, something that they had to get out that required 2 people 3 days working on to create this report that they run once a quarter.
Right.
They can come and do that in HANA and get that thing done in 40 seconds.
They'll probably show up at your doorstep like every month, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we'd like another test drive.
test drive, yeah, exactly. Only one test drive.
Only one first test drive. Are other consultancies doing this? When we talked about this, I was like, I hadn't heard about this. Sounds
right.
You got anyone else doing this?
Well, Optimal, we pride ourselves on being cutting edge with regards to SAP, being that we're SAP centric.
Yep.
We want to be on the bleeding edge, and so we invested really heavily in HANA early. We have probably I haven't heard of another organization that has as many HANA trained consultants as we do. We invested early in getting the appliance set up, getting our teams internally working on it, so that they had the experience, they knew the product. So yeah, I think we are ahead of the curve, but knowing the SAP ecosystem, I'm sure they're not going to be very far behind.
Right, no, absolutely. During the hype stages of HANA, we all knew it was very hyped. Why did you think that it was going to be of value? You guys obviously have invested time to get people certified, to get people trained, in Optimal Labs. What did you guys see that I'm sure customers want to see that same kind of vision?
Sure, what we saw was really a dynamic in the marketplace, a shift. With regards to, there's only so many places where you can go implement ERP.
Right.
Most companies of significant size and success have already done that, and now they're trying to, companies just like consumers today, they're so empowered from a buying perspective, et cetera. Those same people are now working in organizations and bringing those same types of principles and empowerment. And that's creating all this opportunity in business objects and mobility in HANA. And we saw that and knew that was going to be a game changer. We wanted to see SAP, if they were going to be fully committed to this and really make that cultural shift within their organization. That's a big thing to do from a German engineering company.
Right, absolutely.
To go and say, we're going to go into this new technology era, and they've done it. And we truly believe, we bet the house on it. That this is really going to change. People are going to look back on 2012, 2013 and say, wow, that's when SAP really transformed and went to the next level with regards to a technology provider.
Right. Benchmarks as well. I know you guys take those very seriously. That's what people come into, is the Optimal Labs. Can you give us specifics on what types of things they'll actually see in those benchmarks? Are they eye-opening, or what do they see?
A lot of the benchmarking we do is around how quickly we can process a number of records. What's the performance from a generation of a report standpoint?
Okay.
From a time within seconds, milliseconds, et cetera. There's also the cost justification business case that comes out with regards to what's the potential ROI, both from a hard and soft dollar perspective. So that at the end of the day, the performance has to be there. There's got to be a business case for us to decide, all right, let's go do HANA.
Right.
And that's what we want to help them with, because on their own, it's tough to get at.
Also, data quality. I know you said you work with customers who can come in and bring some quality data. Maybe customers who are looking at HANA but know that their data, what's the advice there? Is it, besides try and get some clean data, but you know,
Sure.
I mean, should they get their house in order first?
That's the beauty with SAP, right? I mean, it's the full stack. It's a progression as you go through this process. But with business objects, with data services within business objects, which we call EIM now.
Yeah.
We've been helping a lot of clients with that. They've never really gone through a master data management type of exercise, and they understand that their data is not in good shape. They all know that, but nobody really, there's never a good time to go embark on one of those projects.
Right.
And so, and it's not always the first thing to go get funded.
Right.
Because we got reports now, okay, we got some dupes, we can deal with that.
Yep.
But when you start making this transition into these types of technologies, it has to be clean, and it's your opportunity to really get that infrastructure right, so that you don't pay the consequences later with rework or et cetera. You know, getting yourself into trouble later to solve a problem now.
Exactly. Well, as we wrap up, last piece of advice for an ASUG member watching this who's thinking about HANA, we got a big data issues, we want to do it. What would be your first piece of advice to someone to get started?
First piece would be, one, to really do your due diligence with regards to what it's going to take on your side, from a resource perspective, from a data cleansing perspective, from an infrastructure perspective, hardware, et cetera. And then at that point, it's find out who in the organization has a problem that you can fix right now and get that win with HANA.
Yep.
How can you address that problem immediately? And then at that point, once you have that success, again, all areas of the business are going to come running for HANA when they see what it does for them.
Yep. Well, Elliott, thanks again for being here, and thanks again for your sponsorship. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. We enjoy you guys, and you guys do great work.
Thank you. For more interviews with SAP newsmakers and ASUG members, check out asugonline.com as well as asugnews.com. And thank you for watching.